Hello and welcome back to another Bionicle review. Today we're taking a look at the Water Bohrok Galak. Now, this is mine from back in the day, so forgive the dust and slight wear. Anyway, let's start off, as always, with the articulation. Right. Well, technically this counts as articulation, but it's a gimmick, so we'll talk about it later. The shoulders are ball jointed, the wrists are ball jointed. So, you get whatever range the ball can get. And the same exact thing is true for the hips and the ankles. These earlier Bionicle sets didn't have mid-limb joints, so you would think they would actually be fairly limited in their posability, but thanks to the rather large range that the ball sockets get, it's actually not too bad. You can at least get them into a decent pose. Now, moving on to gimmicks. Let's start with the obvious one. The gear action, which is fairly simple for the Bohrok, but it's incredibly fun, actually. And yes, the elastic band still hasn't degraded on mine, which is nice. Though these later ones that are rounded tend to actually survive fairly well, so these are supposed to be insectoid? Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know any insects that can do this. It's more of a chicken, really. These are supposed to be the eyes, by the way. I know when I was a kid, and I can't unsee it, I always thought these cuts, which are to hold it on, well, it was for the molding, but I always saw these as the eyes, and like these were fangs, which makes it look a lot goofier. If you get rid of this, it actually looks slightly intimidating, but that just kind of looks cute, and I've never been able to unsee it. And now, unfortunately, you probably won't either. Sorry about that. But I digress. This gear function does serve a purpose. Maybe a little too well. If you open up the faceplate, you can launch out the focus. The Krana. There are 12 different colors, including the Bohrok Call. Those ones are metallic, but oh, actually no, because the Bohrok Va also had another set of colors, so there's actually 18 different colors. Yeah, good luck collecting all of them. And also there's 8 different Krana, I think. I don't remember what this one is called. I've completely forgotten half the lore, but there's some text written on the inside of this in Matoran. And the inside is obviously shaped the same as the Mata head, because this can connect onto their head. Can never remember if it fits onto the Matoran head as well. I don't think it does. I think it specifically only fits on the Mata head, but yeah. Of course, it doesn't matter what the power of this one is, because they were randomly selected into the packaging, so it makes absolutely no difference. You'll get a different one anyway. And if you're collecting them, well, you can look it up. Now, on to the other gimmick, which may be a little bit less obvious. If you take the legs and collapse them up, then bring them up like this, then you bring your arm around the little nub here, and you just fold that in. You do the same on the other side, and congratulations, now your Bohrok is a ball. And They actually roll surprisingly well. You wouldn't think this would actually roll that well, but it's fairly rounded, and I mean, well, it hit the camera stand there, but yeah, they actually do roll. Not the quietest thing ever. It probably sounds awful on the camera, actually, but that was always neat. And also, there was a piece that could clip onto here, which allowed them to be stored in the canister. Yeah, I'm not digging through my basement to try and find one of the canisters, but I'm sure I still have them, but whatever. Anyway, moving on to size comparisons, and these guys are pretty short. Fairly wide, but pretty short. But there you go. Now you can see the basic height. Yeah. Not super tall. Fairly bulky, which makes them feel larger, but slightly above desk toy size, I would say. In conclusion, I mean, the Bohrok are great. They're still fondly remembered as one of the better villain sets, let's say. I mean, they technically aren't the villains, but spoilers. But they're incredibly fun to mess around with. They're a fairly easy build. And I don't think they're that expensive to get your hands on nowadays. Mostly because they sold so many that, you know, the price overall isn't that high. Anyway, that's it for this review. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future reviews and watch my backlog. And as always, until next time, happy building.